दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै देवाय तस्मै। So samatvam yoga uchyate, the sameness of an attitude with a clear understanding of Ishvara's in one's life, that how Ishvara's grace is constantly flowing. That's what now I'm going to talk. And in that sense, well, you are never away from Ishvara basically. If everything is Ishvara, then where I am separate from Ishvara? No way. In my talking there is a Ishvara. In form of this intelligent manifestation, law. Any intelligent manifestation involves a conscious being. Conscious being is there. Any intelligent manifestation, even this intelligent manifestation definitely involves a conscious being. And this conscious being is not in Vaikuntha or anywhere. That's fine. There is nothing wrong in that. That's wonderful. But really, the reality of Ishvara is that everything is Ishvara. That is the vision of the Veda. That's the vision of the Veda. What is there in Vaikuntha also is Ishvara, and what is not there away from that also is Ishvara. Again. So basically I was talking that everyone is very alpagnaha, small knowing, and well, alpa shaktiman with limited powers, etc. Limited in power, skill, etc. And so everyone is a born failure. You need not get expected things because you are already limited person, basically. So this uncertainty, born of the limitations of knowledge and power, applies to all the endeavors, to all the people, including all the organizations also. Huge organizations. They have certain calculations, I will not name. They have certain calculations. Before COVID, they give employment to so many people. And nobody knew that this is going to happen. And well, the organization is definitely people of the top. They are people ultimately with more knowledge, but still small. And they have certain calculations, they are going to get business, this, that. And it worked out. It didn't work out. Please understand this. In any endeavor of a given human being or for any person or for any organization where people are involved, human being is involved, well, you may not get what you want. And in a given endeavor, because your knowledge is limited, your abilities are limited, and then you are born failure. So, any futuristic projection also is based on your present knowledge. And well, however pragmatic you may be in making a projection for a future event, you can never be sure that it will come true. Never be sure. Because any number of unforeseen things can happen. And well, you can add a prayer to that and make it a prayerful hope for expected result. Only omniscient well would really know what exactly is going to happen. I'm not giving emotional logic. This is a reality of life. This is a reality of life. So anyway, everyone is born loser, but at the same time, well, you look at yourself, you are a successful person. That's what I'm going to say. You are a successful person. You seem to enjoy a lot of grace, basically, because you are able to open the mouth. I'm able to open the mouth and talk to you. Sometimes jaws get locked. I have seen a person who opened the mouth to talk and then he had to rush. He was rushed to the person, to the doctor. He could not just close up jaws, locked. So basically my point is, so I'm able to survive with what kind of foods I'm eating. Yesterday, Dr. Kapil came, not yesterday, before yesterday, when Dr. Kapil came to the ashram and met, and he said something which is really, it's really frightening. He said, in these varieties of the crops, agricultural crops, etc., in order to modify them genetically, sometimes they bring the genes of the animals, fish and other things, and they implant it. Now you and me, we feel that we are very vegetarian. You imagine. And what food we are eating, we don't know. Anything could happen to the stomach. But still, I am able to survive with all kinds of food I am eating. Whose grace is that? Do you think any human being has made law to make it digested? No. I am able to chew the food. The food can go through the pipe and go there and get digested, and the things get removed, whatever is not required. All is functioning. My eyes is able to see right now. My ears are able to hear. My mind is able to think. I am able to sit. I am able to get up. People cannot get up sometimes. They sit. They cannot get up. They cannot sit. The person who wants to sit, they cannot sit. All these are there. We never care for this. All these are happening. The human life, right now able to live itself is a grace. Believe me. Human life, any life is a grace. In fact, the morning you get up, one has to literally clap for a day given to you by Ishwar. Honestly. It's so precious life. So precious life. That is running. Person can go to sleep, next day he may not be able to get up. He gets up somewhere else. This is all possibility. I have not to give you emotional logic, it's the reality I am saying. So all the time there is something which is flowing. And there is grace. Very much there. So there is something that makes a difference between success and failure. And this is Ishvara. Right? That is Ishvara. So I find myself successful all the time. Nobody is failure. Nobody is failure. So when you breathe out, well, there is the guarantee that there will be a breathing. When our heart is doing love, dub, love, dub. Between love and dub, there is a grace. Love can occur and dub will not occur. All is possibility. Right? You and me want that all the time it remains love, dub. But it goes. It goes. Anyway, so the grace has been flowing in this gap. Anyway, so this is where actually we branch out. Bhagavad Gita, when he talks about all these things, you feel it's like a psychology, etc. Psychology has a positive thinking. We are not talking about a positive thinking. We are talking about a factor which makes a difference between success and failure. That is Ishvara. That's a reality. It's not positive thinking. Psychology and Bhagavad Gita has big difference. In psychology, generally psychiatrist helps the person with a positive thinking. Here I am not giving you positive thinking. I am talking about some reality. That yes, I am living a life because of laws. I cannot deny it. There are laws. All intelligent manifestation of Ishvara. So Ishvara's grace is flowing all the time. Just because I did not get an expected result, I started blaming myself that I am a failure. Which is impractical, in fact. Anyway, so this, I am a mature person when I recognize that with all my limited power, knowledge, I have been gracefully successful. Gracefully successful. I am successful is an ahankara, ego. I am gracefully successful. Is called devotee. This is called devotion. All the time, in one's awareness, there is Isha. When there is no awareness in one's, there is no Ishvara in one's awareness, he is not a bhakta. So anyway, so if this became a reality, well, if this you count, this kind of a thing, just after giving. So this you start relating to Ishvara in your awareness, well, this is called religious life. And to since you feel now obliged, since your whole life is running based on that, you obliged. You feel obliged and you do whatever you do. Puja you do japa, you do tirtha whatever you do. You are called a religious person. Yeah, you relate to Ishvara now. In your vision, that there is a grace flowing all the time. And therefore you feel obliged. And so you relate to Ishvara in any way. Even doing the seva, anything. Wow, that's called religious life. And when it becomes a reality for you, that yes, everything is a manifestation of ultimately consciousness, Brahman, which is myself, then it is called a spiritual life. So this is, a religious life leads to spiritual life, ultimately. Anyway, so this is, so there is something. One should take a note of thing that basically there is something which governs our life. There is some force, some order that keeps you going, that keeps you alive, that keeps you active. Well, and so this, a devotee will call it as a grace. You may call it as that my own actions, result of my actions, well, because of that I am alive. Whatever you have done, because I have done something in good in past and therefore I am alive, or everything is working, whatever you say. But which of your action, of the good actions of the past, has given this good situation? Can you connect? No. Then who connects a particular karma to a particular karma phala? That is Ishvara. That's how we call it as a grace. Grace is nothing but a result of my own action, good actions. But I call it as a graceful acceptance of this. Gracefully I say, because ultimately Ishvara is the karma phala data. So it is not in my hand, right? It's not in my hand. I feel that my jaw should work all the time. I should be able to stand, I should be able to walk 10 miles every day. You may not be able to walk after the age of 80, suppose. I want everything. My whole life should be a very qualitative life. Nothing should happen to me. Definitely you can expect. But things happen. That shows it is not based on my free will. Various situations, even favorable situations come in your life, is ultimately coming from Ishvara. And therefore we, even though it is our own karma phala, but we accept it, considering Ishvara's grace. So grace is nothing but a graceful acceptance of our own karma phala. We don't become egoistic, proud. Look at that. How much success I have in my life. No. There is a factor. There is all the chance that, a success can turn into a failure. All chance. And that is ultimately Ishvara. So that is what I wanted to say. Anyway, so which action resulted into this particular result? Well, we cannot say it also. And And therefore, what is responsible for a given result, good result, I cannot say. And therefore, that is how they say. Somebody said very beautifully that when we don't know the cause for the occurrence of an incident, we call it accident. Very nice. I like it, and so I noted it. And when the cause becomes known, the accident reduces to an incident. When the cause is known, it reduces to incident. Anyway, so grace is basically, graceful way of acknowledging our own karma. And so this discovery, this understanding that I am winner all the time, because I am just talking to you. I am able to think, I am able to walk, I am able to talk, I am able to hear, I am able to think, I am able to memorize, whatever. I am able to see, I am able to smell, I am able to eat. Everything. Well, I am winner all the time. In spite of the fact, you should always have been a loser on account of your limitations in knowledge and ability. So, it brings about a certain attitude. When you understand this, then it brings about a certain attitude towards a situation that are not conducive. Because there also now you see the hand of Ishvara. That's how I felt that this is to be included. So in your maturity, you are able to accept now unpleasant also. Because in a pleasant situation itself, you have started understanding his role, right? That you are successful because of the grace. Then in unpleasant situation also, you are able to see his hand. And therefore, so the capacity to accommodate, to accept a fact is possible only when there is a Ishvara in your awareness. So an unpleasant situation is as legitimate as pleasant situation. Pleasant situation is legitimate. Yeah. Unpleasant situation also as legitimate. Yeah. Coming from Ishvara. Right? So, according to Lord Krishna, there is no failure at all. Failure can be there only when success is in your hands. You cannot call all the shots. If success is in your hands and if you don't get an expected thing, you can call you are failure. But if success itself is not in your hand, we have seen, success itself is not in your hand, you should not call it as failure. You should not call it as failure. I am failure, no. Objectively speaking, there is no success or failure. There are situations. There are simply situations which is a result of your own action. Right? That makes a maturity. That is maturity. Resistance to the fact. It's a situation which is of course not conducive to me, not favorable to me, not desirable to me. Correct? But a very resistance reveals the childish attitude. Child will never accept any fact. The child is given one chocolate and his brother was given 2 chocolates. Well, the child was asking since long, mom gave me chocolate. Mom was not given because spoils teeth. Now brother was given 2 and he is also given 1. He throws. Why brother was given 2? That's it. No acceptance of a fact. If a child does this, we never call it childish. But if an adult does something, non-acceptance of fact, throws a job like throwing a chocolate, he is called childish. That's it. So emotional adulthood. One can enjoy life, whatever one has, if one is emotionally adult. One cannot enjoy life just by becoming physically mature. That's how it is. Anyway, so when that is not the case, success is not in my hand. We have seen his hand is there, grace is there. Well, in that case, there is no failure also. Therefore, no one is failure. Everybody is learning, basically. Learning from experiences. There is no regret in our culture, basically. Our culture doesn't have a confession. No confession business here, really. There is all the time learning. There is so much thirst in our culture on learning. One can learn at the age of 85 also. Keep learning. One is student for all the time. Yeah. Right? One can be a student for all the time. if one has that attitude of humility, people lose that attitude of learning because of a lack of humility. Every person learns from a child. You as a mature person can learn from a child something. Really, if you have that attitude of learning, and if you enjoy that certain inner composure, you can learn anywhere. You can learn. So our culture basically is a learning culture. So, and if we find we have done something wrong, definitely we have a prayashit karma. Yeah, we have a prayashit karma to neutralize it. And that is a very positive step. It's not something which is negative or confession kind of thing. It's a very positive step to neutralize it. And if I have done something wrong to somebody, well, to do something good to that person, we call pratipaksha bhavana. You can do something good to the person. There is no regret here. No regret. So that is learning all along the life, and that is the mature response towards the so-called success. In a failure, definitely, if you have this samatvam, etc., now you will be more objective, more dynamic, and you can definitely take into account certain factors which has brought so-called failure and try to improve upon that. You can definitely do it. But there is all the time learning. This is called samatvam, basically. This cheerful acceptance of the situation as it comes to me, because every situation ultimately is a result of some action or the other. And animals to neutralize likes and dislikes. That's how, with the help of Ishvara, you are able to neutralize these two enemies. Kameshaha, Krodeshaha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Devani. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, these are the two Shatrus. Take care of me with the help of me. That is how in every avatar, if people, in order to take care of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Bhagavan has come. Or Ravana or Kumbhakarna. Anyway, these two only are there. They are taken care of with the help of Ishvara. If you have this attitude, if you bring Ishvara into your life, in your this various situation, in response, you can take care of this Ravana and Kumbhakarna or Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, or likes and dislikes, or Kama and Krodha, etc. So, a man, basically, a life is like a seesaw with this likes and dislikes. So there is a problem when I won't get as per my results, as per my expectation. There is a problem when I definitely, because of the likes and dislikes, I get the problem. So what I like basically, and this is irony in the world, irony in the life. Generally, what you like, you don't get, and generally, and what you don't like, you get. Why, Swamiji, it is like that? Because our likes and dislikes are innumerable. And to fulfill all of them, the power and the knowledge I have is very limited. And therefore, what you like, you generally don't get, and what you don't like, you get often. Starting from, I have not to say anything. So basically, this, because one is countless. To fulfill them, what the means we have are limited. Therefore, it's all possible that you may not be able to fulfill. Still, your likes are fulfilled. Right? Certain dislikes are also fulfilled. Certain things you want to keep it away, and you are able to keep it away. Certain things you want to get rid of it, and you are able to get rid of it. That is there. That is there. We don't count all this. We never count. We always count how many are not fulfilled. Not understanding the reality that they are countless. My God, likes and dislikes, you cannot even. It's like, I always give an example of a flight chart. Yeah. In which, when the flight chart, the flight will be there, and then there is the arrival, time of departure, and all this. And some are boarding. So some of your desires have already departed. They arrived, they stayed, you fulfilled them, gone. Some of the desires have just arrived. Has arisen. Some of the desires, well, are in the process of getting fulfilled, boarding. Yeah. And when I saw the flight chart on the airport, I thought, now once this will go, all these flights will go, then the flight chat will be empty. I have never found. All the time, it just comes one by one by one by. Some are arriving, some are already departed, some are in the process of boarding. This is how the life is. So likes and dislikes are countless. You and me have experience. How many? We don't know. We don't know. In a given situation, it comes out. In a conducive situation, it comes out. Oh, this is a dislike for this. There is a like for this. So to fulfill all of them is impossible. And therefore it is likely that what I really like, I may not get. What I really dislike, well, I may get it. I have to confront with that. That's all possibility. Anyway, so basically everyone is born a person, a Purushite, but in time we become bundle of likes and dislikes. When you are a person like a child is a person. No such manifestation of likes and dislikes too much. As a child, you enjoy the life. But in course of time, you get lots of likes and dislikes, or they manifest. You are no more a person, you are a personality. Once you become a personality, a bundle of likes and dislikes, and that too is unfulfilled, life becomes tragedy. That's how everyone wants again childhood. Everyone, practically. They say, oh, when you were a child, life was so enjoyable and all that. With the minimum things, your child could not speak. Child may not be able to get what it wants. Still you say, I am able to it, because child was just a person. Everyone is born as a person. In course of time, everyone becomes personality. No more person. If you take care of this personality, likes and dislikes by this karma yoga, etc., become a person, simple person who can enjoy the life fully, like the child. That's how it is. So these are the means that has been given like this. Anyway. So this is why everyone has this, like, but personality means buttons, varieties of buttons. So if somebody presses it and you just erupt. So, so when we accept these situations cheerfully, likes and dislikes are neutralized. They are not able to influence me in responses. They were no more a source of a disturbance. I'm happy if they are fulfilled. I'm not happy they are fulfilled. Then you can have more likes and dislikes. You can have more likes and dislikes because you have a say over them. You are not their say. You can develop new likes and dislikes also. Yeah. Because you are able to handle them. If you are able to handle, suppose a person who is working, is a boss, and if he is able to handle the people, the subordinates, he can employ more people. Why? No, you will not be able to handle. No, I know I am able to handle the people. He can employ more people. So likes and dislikes, you can have any number of likes and dislikes. All our devatas have likes and dislikes. Vishnu likes Pitambara. Vishnu likes Tulsi. You cannot give Tulsi to Shiji. You have to give Bilvapatra. Yeah. That's how it is. Fine. Wonderful. There are differences. Gujaratis like to cook. And there are certain preferences even culture-wise also. You live in a certain region and you develop a certain food habits. Now you like it. That becomes your culture. So they cook in this ground oil, and then other Kerala you go, they cook in this coconut, or Orissa they cook in mustard oil. What they cook also is different. The cooking oil also is different. Everything is fine. Differences are there, they are fine. Only thing is you are able to handle them. Handling, how to handle your likes and dislikes has been taught by Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, you include me in your project. You include me, I am a buffer. Yeah. If I am a buffer, your mind will remain free from mechanicalness, reactions, etc. That's all. And look at your life. All the time, my grace is flowing. You are success. So anyway, so capacity of likes and dislikes to strike me down in terms of anger, frustration, despair is neutralized by this prasad buddhi, the attitude of glad acceptance, looking into with awareness to Ishvara, and then one can have one freedom in responses, in actions, in terms of gaining results. I feel the second part I want to keep it away because it's also equally big thing, and that is yoga karmasu kaushala, the skill in action. While performing action itself, you can remain free from the reactions, all reactions. That's called skill. What is to be done, you do. What is not to be done, you don't do. And in conformity with the manifestation of Ishvara or Dharma, while one can remain away from the influence of likes and dislikes. Because on one side of the free will, well, there is a likes and dislikes. On the other side, you have something called universally right and wrong. The knowledge is given to you. Well, your free will, or you conform to the universal right and wrong, and thereby not come under the sway of likes and dislikes, and thereby also you can remain free from anger, frustration, etc. That's the second part. That's a skill in action, is this. And that gives a joy. Because when you conform to the universal norms of right and wrong, etc., definitely you are conforming to Ishvara. And that is why whenever you are able to do what is to be done, you feel happy. Because you are in harmony with Ishvara. Dharma is a manifestation of Ishvara. That's how we say Lord Rama walked on the earth in the form of Dharma. So that is the second part, but I don't want to go into that. Let's skip this one part. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Why I stopped? Because I wanted to invite some questions.
Swamiji, can you explain why you said we are all born losers? What does it mean?
Born losers means whatever you want to accomplish in life, well, means gainer, you may not, because you have a limited knowledge and limited power. And so therefore you may not be able to gain what you want in life because, well, you have a limited knowledge, limited power.
It's about a knowledge.
You have limited knowledge and power, and therefore there is a chance, there is a possibility that you may not get you may not get what you want in your life, but still you are gaining.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally it is you are a born loser, but well, because of Ishvara's grace, you are able to gain what you want in your life.
Okay.
You are able to walk, talk, everything right now. Able to think, right? Everything. So therefore, there is a grace of Ishvara flowing all the time. What you want in a life itself is a manifestation of a life itself is possible because of the grace of Ishvara.
Yeah.
So take into account all this. Otherwise, being having a limited knowledge and power, you can lose in every situation. Whatever you do, there is equal possibility that you may not get what you want. You may get contrary to what you want, but still you are gaining.
Okay, I understand. But my thought was, just getting this human body itself is a great power, great gain. So how would I be a loser when I get this human birth?
Born loser means this.
Okay.
You want to accomplish with your limited knowledge, that is your resources. Limited knowledge, limited power. And you may not get, but you are getting.
Okay, thank you.
That's
Swamiji, intellectually, let's say I know or we know that everything is Ishvara. In fact, pure consciousness that we are and cosmic consciousness is all one.
one.
Now, all around, okay, we are in the hands of Ishvara. Now, in order to have that awareness all the time, now this mind, this is a culprit. It has to dissolve. in order to feel the presence of that divinity. So the big culprit is the mind, okay? So isn't that a problem?
See, to appreciate Ishvara's presence, you need a mind. Right? To appreciate.
Yeah, but mind has so many desires.
That's okay. That's okay. But be a little alert that right now, whatever my life I'm living, where I am right now, in that, is there a presence of Ishvara? Is there a grace flowing or not? And you find. When you appreciate it, at that moment, in your awareness there is Ishvara. And you are able to appreciate His grace, right? Fine, that's it. Your likes and dislikes, desires are suspended for time being when you are appreciating that. Then again it comes. Then appreciate again. This is how you have to neutralize. Because to appreciate Ishvara's presence, you need a mind. You are not able to appreciate Ishvara's presence in deep sleep state. It's resolved. Mind is resolved.
Now, but it says that in Uddesha Saram, Nashtamanasa Utkrishta Yogena, Krutiya Sikhem, Swasita Yataha.
See, the meaning is the ahankara. Basically, the root of ahankara is the consciousness. So, resolving ahankara, resolving mind, the conscious mind is called ahankara, ego. When the mind which is conscious, definitely there is a consciousness as a basis of the conscious mind or ego, ahankara. So, Ramana Maharshi says, you go into that root of the ahankara, not you resolve ahankara. In the root of ahankara, there is a consciousness. When you realize it, when you appreciate it, not realize, when you appreciate it, that I am consciousness because of which the mind becomes conscious. And well, the conscious mind, which is called ahankara, which is called a sense of individuality, that's not my reality. If sense of individuality is a reality, means I am an individual, is a real, then I should be individual in all the three states of experience. Then what happens in a deep sleep state is that I am individual, that thing itself goes away. Okay, if I am individual, that goes away, I also go away. I doesn't go away. In deep sleep state, you are very much there. You wake up and say, I only slept at 9 o'clock and I got up. So that I, which is not an individual, still present. What is that I? What is that I? That's okay. So that is how it is to be understood. So that's how, not resolve. If you resolve, how will you appreciate all this? Right? It's a knowledge, right? It's a knowledge. When you want a knowledge, a faculty should be present. Faculty should be present. Means of knowledge is the mind and Shastra. Both should be present. If you resolve the mind, you cannot get any knowledge. Therefore, in a deep sleep state, you don't get any fresh knowledge, new knowledge. Because mind is resolved. You gain any knowledge when the mind is awake. Waking state.
Right?
Before conclude, anyone have any questions? So, I will have Anaji to come over here for water tank, and I do have some notes. After that, I go.
Namaskar everyone. On behalf of Human Services, being here at NCCC, we would like to graciously thank Swamiji for his wonderful lecture. And I also wanted to acknowledge a couple of founders of this temple when this was built. They are here in our presence.
Wow.
So Shamlaji, HKG, I think if you can stand up. They are also, HKG has followed Dhananda Swamiji for a long time.
He met me.
Yeah. So that's what I just wanted to be acknowledged.
Wonderful.
And because of them, I think we have this wonderful facility here. So very thankful to the NCCC management. And again, when Bhaskar spoke in the initial stages, he said that human services, what we truly believe human services is service to mankind, is service to God.
Absolutely.
And that is what we truly believe in, and we continue to do that. I hope with your grace, we will be able to do more of such activities.
Very.
And it was a really enlightening experience today, Swamiji. Once again, thank you so much from bottom of my heart. And gracefully thank you once again.
So, based on today's discussion, so I just made a couple of notes. Two real-time situation. Just wanted to, when we are always say like freedom in action and karma yoga. In a modern world, I can always think of like scientific word, Newton's law.
Action and reaction.
So, what you did, you don't expect. Another thing I wanted to relate to, because when he approached like a month, 2 months ago, Swamiji is going to be here, and we wanted to have a session here. My first question to him: how many people you can bring? Okay. I know the answer, but there are four possible
Results.
answers, results. Okay, one is overcrowded, one is satisfied, one is like
Less than.
yeah. So result is it's not in our hand. What we do, it is the matter. And Swamiji is here, exactly here. Selfless thought. What I can say that selfless thought and benefit of humanity. And with that, we are all enjoyed his lot of his thoughts and experience, very close to our day-to-day life. So thank you so much, Swamiji. We are looking forward another session sometime down the line when you are back again to the Bay Area. That time we will make sure that we will have more people. So we will try our best. Okay?
Yeah, second part is there, we will discuss at that time.
Absolutely. So I'd like to call up some human service people, and also HK Narayan and Shamlaji is here. Kamlesh Jain here. And please come here. So, yeah. So I think, as everybody knows that HK Narayan has been running Bhagat Giza session. Is it? So,
That you have told.
no, he is doing some kind of Zoom during COVID.
Wow.
Something he was doing it. So I think he is, I believe, glad that he is here. It's more appropriate that he can honor the token of appreciation for the HCCC management.
It's my privilege to.
Please, Shamlaji. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oscar, go, take a picture.
I used to attend that lecture when I was 12 years old. That I learned the Jnana Slokam